Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, one of the things that I'm telling you, I think we don't think enough about, or we don't plan to do something about it, and maybe that's impossible, but there's been reports right now of some kind of spill into the Deere River in St. Lawrence County up by North Lawrence that has an awful lot of fishermen and a lot of local people really concerned because the Deere River looks different right now. There's my buddy Alex, who lives right on the banks of the Deere River and has been somebody to help me with muskie fishing in the past, has called me weeks ago and said, Don, there's something wrong. The water doesn't look like anything I've seen before. And he says, I got to tell you, last summer I started seeing hardly any frogs, hardly any crayfish in the water. And he said the number of muskies that I saw all the times I would take people out was so much further down than it had ever been that I can remember. So this last weekend, I got a couple calls, one from one of our legislators and another from somebody that lives on the river. And they said, you have to do something to investigate it. Nobody seems to be doing it. One of the people that lives there said, I've spent my whole life catching my limit the first day of season for walleyes. This year, nothing. There doesn't appear to be any of those fish left. Now, remember something. This is all hearsay, but I want to hearken back to years ago when there was a sewage spill from one of the huge farms, maybe in Lewis County, wherever along the Black River, and it killed almost all the fish in that river. It poisoned them. It does whatever spills do that kills the things that live there. Remember a few weeks ago I talked about one of the people that had told me that his place on Black Lake, he had gone out and found all these dead turtles, these little turtles along one of the waters that leads into the lake. So this could affect so much of what we here represent is the best fishing in the world. And I really believe that. I think we have the best fishing of any place I've ever been. And that's why we've been trying to promote it as an economic stimulant. But when you have a river like the Deere River, and remember, this is still hearsay. I think that I've made it a point to contact our legislators, to contact a national spill organization in New York. I've contacted the head of our DEC. And so all this information now is coming to a head. And hopefully they'll find out what has happened. But when you have spills, and a lot of times and almost always, they're accidental. It's not that people are trying to ruin what we have, but inadvertently what we have can be ruined. So as I learn more about this, and one final thought. The one thing that brought me to this area, just before I went in the Navy, my dad moved up to North Lawrence. My dad and mom, Dad got a job at SEAL Test. And I discovered the Deere River. One of the greatest things for me. It kept me going through 4 years in the Navy. It was the one thing I thought, I got to return to this area because I've never seen anything like it. Well, maybe we've never seen anything like what's happening now. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.